A very warm good morning to everybody. I'm Rajiv Ranjan, editor, Digital Terminal, and the moderator for Virtual DT Conclave 2021. We all have come together on this digital platform, and on behalf of our publication, I am grateful to all of you who have joined us today live. We are going to witness a remarkable virtual event that will be very instrumental in empowering Indian businesses through secure digital transformation journey. We as a responsible technology media house has always provided required platform for the growth of ICT market since year 2009. Digital Terminal, popularly known as DT, is part of News.Media Private Limited Group and provides 360-degree approach for news and information to entire ICT industry. Whether it's print, digital or video, we always stay ahead in providing right information for the growth of entire industry. As you all know that DT has been always ahead in inspiring the Indian businesses and stakeholders for accelerating their growth trajectory. And even in situations like pandemic, DT organizes series of virtual events to encourage entire ecosystem. So taking one step ahead, we are again here for DT Conclave 2021, which is themed around cybersecurity evolved, moving towards zero trust access. Cybersecurity is the most critical thing that always remains on high priority for all business, whether they are large enterprises, SMEs, or SMBs. They all need strong guidance and support on regular basis to stay protected all the time. So to work in the same direction, DT Conclave 2021 will definitely boost their knowledge about cybersecurity. Now let me introduce you to the speaker for DT Conclave 2021. Today we have Mr. Ravindra Bhaviskar, Director Sales Engineering, India and SARC, Sophos Technologies Private Limited. Ravi has over 17 years of experience in IT security and has been Sophos for more than 14 years. He has extensively worked in the pre-sales department of Sophos. His current profile involves solving the pre-sales technical queries and closely working with the development team in evolving the product by incorporating market feedback. With this vast experience and technical background, he has been vital in identifying and solving the needs of customers from the defense, BFSI, education, and many other verticals. Ravi has done his BE in computers and has successfully completed the CCNA and Certified Ethical Hacker certifications. He has trained and certified 500 plus engineers on Sophos Cyberum security product. He has been an eminent speaker in various forums, seminars, and conference on IT security events. Hello, Ravi. I welcome you as our esteemed speaker for DT Conclave 2021. First of all, thank you so much for accepting our request and supporting us in bringing very informative session for our audiences. Our audience is here already and many of them are still joining us. So we will together drive the discussion today and impart the most required knowledge on zero trust for the stakeholders. Apart from this, I would like to announce one more important thing about Lucky Winners contest. We will show 3 different codes on the screen during the event on regular intervals. So to participate in this contest, viewers have to reply with all 3 codes in chat option along with name, email, and mobile number before the event gets concluded. Winners announcement will be made on 20th April across all our social media platforms. So in case you have not started following our social media accounts, please start following our social media pages now to be part of this contest. All 10 lucky winners will stand a chance to win Amazon voucher of rupees 1000 and one Sophos home security solution license. So request you all to please participate in this contest. So here is the first code for lucky winner contest sponsored by Sophos. Now let's get back to our main objective. Due to the pandemic, organizations have adopted hybrid work model and it has posed serious challenges for the organization on the front of cybersecurity. In the complex information landscape, one of the biggest underlying challenges of leader is how to establish a trusted environment in ever-expanding organizations and workforce perimeter. DT Conclave 2021 is about to start discussion on zero trust. Zero trust is a holistic approach to security that addresses these threats and changes in how business work. It's a model and a philosophy for how to think about security and do security. So now our speaker, Mr. Ravindra Bhaviskar, will give the complete insight about this. Ravi, now it's over to you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Raju, for the introduction and giving us a platform to talk on the topic, which is very close to my heart, called as cybersecurity evolved, moving towards zero network access. Now, let me just share my screens quickly. Here we go. So much has been talked about cybersecurity and the threat landscape. As we know, threats are becoming more sophisticated and advanced in nature. there is strong need to automate the defense mechanism. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Ravindra Baviskar and I'm working as a Director Sales Engineering here at Sophos. Today, I'm not going to do any deep dive into Sophos product features. Well, we all know that Sophos provides next generation products and the services for protecting your network, endpoint, and cloud ecosystem. Rather, I want to show you how to leverage Sophos' approach of cybersecurity evolved to protect your business from most advanced cyber attacks. But before that, let's understand why there is need of cybersecurity to be evolved. Well, we all know about this. Threats are ever evolving, from traditional virus worms to the ransomware to the advanced targeted attacks. So there is a strong need to change our response from static to dynamic, adaptive, AI, ML based or automated to fight against the bad actors as they are leveraging powerful tools and the softwares available on your network itself. Nevertheless, Sophos is there to help you out. And if you are wondering how, and that's what we are going to discuss today. Whether you like it or not, the perimeter has gradually destroyed. Times have certainly changed, and suddenly we all are not sitting in an office in a trusted environment. Users want to work remotely on an untrusted network like Starbucks Wi-Fi. They want to use their own personal devices to access the corporate data and resources. And looking at current situation, a few months ago seems to be a lot different than looking at right now. Who would have thought in the month of January 2020 that would be working from home, and that too the same way we used to work from office, or in fact more efficiently. The use of SaaS application, the cloud platform, and the services leaves your data outside of a corporate perimeter has been increased. Adoption of public cloud platform has increased a lot, and public cloud platform means many of those devices and the services which used to run within a corporate perimeter earlier can now run outside the corporate perimeter. In short, everything is everywhere. And unfortunately, most IT security has not kept the pace. Many customers are still buying point solution on their current requirement without seeing the future. Now it's time to upgrade firewall, then they will buy a new one. It's time to upgrade the endpoint, then they will buy another one, next generation one, and so on and so forth. In short, they are putting out the fire in front of them, but not seeing how they might be completely surrounded by it soon. And this will cause a couple of problems to them. It will increase the risk. IT is manually trying to integrate this separate point solution product in attempt to get them work together. There is no threat intelligence sharing, no automated incident and response, thereby overly dependent on human resources. And this leads to the second problem of increase in the cost as you need experienced staff and time as the IT becomes more reactive than proactive. So how do you escape all those firefighting solutions? What is the solution? Well, welcome to holistic cybersecurity approach. Whatever industry you are in, regardless of the business size, holistic cybersecurity must be considered as a topmost priority, and it should be an integral part of a digital transformation journey. Let me remind you, no industry is immune to cyber attacks and the threats. A solid cybersecurity posture can be achieved through the combination of the three things which you can see on your screen: zero trust cybersecurity model, next generation solutions, and automated cybersecurity as a system. Let's deep dive into all of these. Well, we would be demystifying the zero trust as a concept, as a model, as a philosophy, whatever you want to call it. Today, we are going to look at how corporate network is changing and how IT groups are dealing with the challenges and why all of a sudden people are started talking about ZTNA. Now, this is a kind of a traditional network. This diagram should not be stranger to anyone out here. It's kind of a representation of your typical corporate network over last couple of decades, I would say. It's mainly focusing on the center called as a secure corporate network that is protected at perimeter level with a firewall, and that is responsible for the access control, compliance, monitoring, and protecting all the traffic coming in and going out of your network. So essentially, it operates on the basis that everything on the network is secure and trusted. I mean, you typically need to pass some kind of physical security to get inside your network, either a badge or a card or a code or key or something to get inside your physical network. But once, or maybe in case of a remote worker, you use VPN client to access the corporate network remotely. And once you are inside the network, you have access to everything, all application that you need on a daily basis. And of course, this all was working great up until earlier 2020, I would say March 2020. And after that, we have seen a profound change underway, as we all know, due to this pandemic. And now in US alone, right, 4.7 million people were already working remotely from home. And this I'm talking about before COVID-19 pandemic. The stat is according to the US Census Bureau and the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, in a global survey conducted by Gartner, where 88% of organizations surveyed worldwide had made it mandatory or encouraged their employee to work from home after COVID-19 pandemic was declared. That's millions of organizations, right? And according to the Global Workplace Analytics, $11,000 is how much a company can save annually for each employee that works remotely, even half of the time, which is a very appealing number, and one of the many benefits of remote workforce. And if you are a remote worker, right, you will get benefits in terms of very short commute time and more flexibility. So it's win-win situation for both, right? Remote workforce and remote worker. So we have seen this work from home phenomena is going to continue for many organizations in coming year as well. But FBI recently reported that number of companies about complaint about the cyber attacks to their cyber division is up to as many as 4,000 a day. That represents 400% increase from what they were seeing pre-coronavirus state. Now, Interpol is also seeing an alarming rate of cyber attacks aimed at corporations, governments, and the infrastructure. And these attacks are targeting almost all types of businesses. And these figures are supported by our recently released annual threat report, which provides some excellent insight into the changes what have occurred in IT department and the threat landscape over last several months. So in particular, it goes into the depth on recent ransomware attacks and how they have often leveraged the underprotected RDP service to exploit the network. And sometimes that's why we call it as RDP, as a ransomware deployment protocol rather than a remote desktop protocol. The bottom line is that the transformation which we have seen, which we have gone through, is creating opportunities for hackers with IT priorities being shifted, networks going through a massive change, and IT team being more overloaded than ever before. Of course, this means network security is more important than ever before. So what has transpired? We all know this is the new type of network is becoming very common nowadays. Most obvious change is that the majority of users are now working remotely at many organizations, and IT team or IT department have been scrambling to adopt and roll out the VPN to support the massive shift which we have seen. In essence, the perimeter had changed. While corporate network is still important, the perimeter is no longer moored around the castle wall, and it has extended outward and outwards. But yet the application access is still critical to operate the business and the productivity of the business. So we would like to refer this to as the new world or new normal as branch office of one. Now you're wondering what is that? Let's see. Where a branch office now consists of one of the remote worker in their home somewhere, anywhere, really anywhere in the world. This is all fine, except most of the organizations now have dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of branch offices of one. This quickly becomes a nightmare to connect, secure, onboard, and decommissions these branch offices of one that are constantly changing. And VPN adoption has obviously exploited in recent months. Just to give you an idea, with our own Sophos Connect client, which is a common client for IPsec and SSL, the adoption has grown 10 times since the beginning of this last year, which I'd say March 2020, over 1 million active users now using Sophos Connect. And this is in line with the other remote collaboration applications like Zoom, Teams, which are both are up to 9 to 10 times from the early this year. No surprise there as well. And a recent survey conducted by Forrester, where 80% of IT decision makers interviewed said their organizations are were unprepared to make this transformation. No surprise there either, and who would have prepared for this kind of a sudden transformation which we have seen due to this COVID impact. And of course, Forrester has long talked about the merits of zero trust and the disappearing perimeter and the importance of identifying identity, multi-factor authentication, micro-segmentation, device compliance, and other tenets of zero trust. So they are quick to point out that the survey indicates that most of the organizations are looking out to zero trust to help the problems or the challenges they are currently facing. Why is that? Why organizations are interested in zero trust? What are the challenges with VPN they are facing currently? Well, VPN is fine if you have just a handful of remote workers that needs occasional access to the applications on a corporate network. But it has never ever designed for this new normal with everyone needing working from home and needed a remote access to the hybrid mix of application both on premises and both on cloud. It is really designed to get you onto the corporate network, just like you are there on a physical network. So giving you a broader access to everything, no controls, and very easy to move around the network laterally or horizontally. In addition, VPN solutions offer no guarantee that the user device is not compromised or corrupted or missing with some compliance or health. And last but not the least, VPN solutions are difficult to deploy, set up, and decommission with hundreds and thousands of branch offices of one, and it becomes untenable. And we all know from personal experience that VPN can be pain to use. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it slows down everything just like to scroll, and it's not the best user experience, that's for sure. Welcome to ZTNA. Now, ZTNA stands for Zero Trust Network Access. Now, the concept of zero trust is really just what it says. Trust nothing, verify everything. There is no trusted perimeter or the concept of inside corporate network any longer. Just as we've seen, the security becomes more adaptive in real time to the changes based on the insights from as many sources as possible to determine who is allowed, what is allowed, and where they should go. In effect, each individual device becomes a perimeter now and access on its own merits for the access. Nothing assumed to be trustworthy. So in its most basic form, ZTNA is all about verifying a user, typically with multi-factor authentication, to prevent stolen credentials from being source of compromise, then validating the health and the compliance of a device, whether any malicious activity is happening or not, whether it is enrolled, whether the antivirus is up to date, whether it is properly protected, encryption is enabled, and so on and so forth. And using that information to make decision based on the policy to determine access and the privilege to the important network application you have. Now, ZTNA is a new way of enabling remote workers on any device, anywhere, to secure access to the important applications, assuming their identity can be verified and the health and the status of their device can be validated. Applications can be accessed directly via this model. So wherever they happen to be, in the cloud, in the corporate data center or corporate network or anywhere, the trust engine protecting that application does the validation and the verification of that particular user and device and allow access based on the policy which you have defined. This has number of benefits over the VPN based solution, which we discussed as a suffering from broader access, difficult to manage, fewer user experience. ZTNA offers much more flexibility and granularity. Any user, any device, any application can be individually controlled based on identity and the risk. Connection itself is very simple and frictionless compared to VPN. It is much easier to deploy and can be centrally managed very easily. Most importantly, it provides better security, minimizing the lateral movement within the network, and eliminates the concept of implicit trust simply by being onto the corporate network. So let's have a look at what Sophos is doing in that space particularly, and we are heavily investing into ZTNA and bringing this solution to the market this year. This solution will consist of basically the three components. So our ZTNA solution will make an excellent complement to both our endpoint and firewall product, adding new capabilities onto the security and both. So it basically consists of Sophos Central as a ZTNA management platform where you can manage all those ZTNA gateway and the ZTNA users which you want to protect. Then it consists of a ZTNA client which will be deployed on end user, which will authenticate and authorize user and validate the device posture. And last but not least is the ZTNA gateway, which can be deployed as in a virtual form at your corporate data center or at your cloud or wherever you have hosted your critical applications for which you want to give access to the users. So all these things compromises our ZTNA solution, which will make an excellent complement to both complement to our endpoint and the firewall products, adding new capabilities and security to you. Well, that's all about the zero trust as a concept, philosophy, model, or technology, whatever you want to call it as. Now we discussed on that. Now let's shift our focus on next generation solution. Well, these are our next generation solutions which Sophos offers to the customers. Our next generation endpoint solution, which we call it as an Intercept X, detects both known and unknown malware without relying on signature alone. Our CryptoGuard protects files, automatically file recovery and behavioral analytics to stop ransomware and the MBR kind of attack. Our exploit prevention deny attacker by blocking exploits or the techniques used to distribute the malware, steal credential, and escape the detection. You can also top up all these protection with EDR capabilities, that is endpoint detection and response. EDR capabilities for more visibility into the suspicious activity, and Sophos EDR takes the threat hunting and IT hunting or IT operation to the next level with the powerful features like live discovery and live response capability on EDR, a single agent with all those protection and EDR capabilities. Talking about our next generation firewall, which we call it as a XG firewall. Our new extreme packet processing architecture in XG firewall version 18 gives you unmatched visibility, unmatched protection and response. Our new extreme SSL inspection solution provides unmatched visibility into the encrypted traffic flow, including TLS 1.3, which is port agnostic, which is the utmost priority right now, because according to the Google, 80 to 90% traffic is on HTTPS. And if you're not doing TLS inspection, that means you're allowing that 80 to 90% traffic entering into your corporate network blindly. Then our new threat intelligence features provide deep learning analysis of files entering into the network to block the latest threats, even those we have not seen before. We call it as zero-day attacks with the help of Sophos Lab and sandboxing technologies, which we provide on our XG firewall. And our new fastpath capabilities and synchronized SD-WAN helps to optimize the business critical application performance for branches and the remote user. Then Sophos MTR. With Sophos MTR, it's a service. Organizations are armed with 24/7 team of threat hunters and responders, which will do following activities on your behalf. They will proactively hunt and validate potential threat and the incidents in your organization. They will use all the available information to determine the scope and the severity of the threats. They will apply the appropriate business context to the valid threats. And most importantly, they will initiate action to remotely disrupt, contain, and neutralize the threats they are seeing in your organization. And again, the most importantly, we take action on the notification. Unlike other, they will simply notify you about the suspicious activity. Last but not the least is our cloud optics solution. In case you are using cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or GCP, or you're planning to move to the cloud, then our cloud optics solution helps you to give you visibility, compliance, and response to all those cloud assets you are hosted in AWS, Azure, and GCP. So we talked about zero trust. We talked about Sophos next generation solution. Let's see cybersecurity as a system, how it works and how it helps you to evolve the cybersecurity. Well, the zero trust and our vision of cybersecurity, which we call it as a synchronized security, shares many same goals and complement with each other. So these all are the products what we provide at endpoint, at cloud, or at network level to our customers for the offering. But most importantly, our Sophos synchronized security, which we call it as a cyber security as a system that continuously analyzes, adopts, and automates most complex tasks in IT. They will dynamically monitor the system activity, user behavior, network traffic, and compliance posture in real time. And all those technologies which we are talking about, which we talked about, will share the information with each other, threat intelligence with each other, providing you the insight and visibility to one another, and where no one will be able to have a blind spot in your network or the organization. Now, if you're wondering how exactly synchronized security works, let's see how the automatic incident and response work with synchronized security or cybersecurity as a system. So here, you have a servers in public cloud protected with Intercept X, or servers hosted in DMZ of the firewall, right? Now we have a XG firewall at the edge of your virtual environment network or your corporate network, right? Then XG firewall will receive the security heartbeats from the servers and the endpoints where Intercept X is installed. And if worst happen, if one of the server gets compromised or one of the endpoint gets compromised, then the heartbeat goes red and firewall can pick that up very quickly. What firewall will do then? Firewall can block the access of internet of that particular server. So bearing in mind that the attack is coming from the internet and you are just protected your servers right away, straight away from there itself, because the servers got compromised and will try to connect to the command and control center over the internet. So blocking internet at first place will ensure that the servers will not get any instruction from bot or the command and control centers. Not only that, you have also protected servers from spreading malicious content out to the other servers that may be connected to your firewall as a separate zone. So either in cloud or from making it very easy from your physical network. So in case there are LAN and DMZ solution, any server gets compromised from any zone, it will stop the internet and it will stop the communication of that server going on to the other zones of the firewall. But then, of course, through lateral movement protection, we will be also stopping that server from infecting the nearest neighbors as well. And that's what we call it as a stonewalling, wall gardening, or lateral movement stop. Then just as quickly as easy, once everything has been cleaned up, health will be automatically turned to green and connectivity will be restored as previous. And that's the best use case of synchronized security or cybersecurity incident response gets automated. Well, as I said before, it takes lots of technology to secure all the resources and assets you have in the network. And there is no single vendor product technology that can solve all your problem. But Sophos certainly has a huge range of technology to help you to get there, to help you to implement ZTNA, Zero Trust Network Access for your organization. Now, Zero Trust technology stack needs to address two major areas, right? One is management of a Zero Trust, and the other is security and control of your various resources and assets. Now, management, Sophos Central, which we talked about. Now, management is broken into three sub areas: automation and orchestration of defining dynamic policy, coordinating all the different technologies, and putting everything into one place. Not only that, giving you the visibility and analytics for maintaining the oversight of your network, ensuring everything is working well as identifying the threats and breaches if or when they occur. And most importantly, the API for integrating all those various technology and getting data out to one system and into the another one. So Sophos Central has all those things covered. Sophos Central is a cloud managed cybersecurity platform that orchestrate all our technology into single consoles, providing you oversight of all the technologies in a single place, and also gives you API to wire together any third-party technology in case you are using. On top of it, as I said, synchronized security is our cross-portfolio approach to analyze systems and network activity and adapt to the scenario through a dynamic policy and automate the complex tasks like isolating the systems, dropping the internet, which used to be a manual one, can be done automatically with the synchronized security. Right, and you can anytime integrate our Sophos Central console to SIEM to aggregate logging from your non-Sophos products, and with Sophos product, it makes it very easy for you to have a full oversight what's going on and what's happening inside your network. So that's all about the management plan. What about the resource and the assets? Resource or assets are broken into sub different parts, and Sophos is there to help you out. For people, users, admin, right, etc., who work for you or with your business, which can be protected using the endpoint protection, a phish threat as a solution which Sophos has. Data can be protected with DLP and endpoint protection and the encryption solution which we provide. Again, device, server, laptops, virtual machines, which are utmost important for your business, can be protected using the endpoint and the server protection. Right, and for network traffic communication and flows, we have XG firewall, and on top of it we have web gateway, email gateway, secure Wi-Fi access point, and all those can be managed through single management console called as Sophos Central. In a way, it's a true cybersecurity evolved for you as a customer. That's all from my side, and over to Raju for further proceeding.
Thank you, Ravi, for sharing such great presentation for our audiences. It was really very informative, and I'm sure with this session, our viewers are very much aware about this aspect of cybersecurity. Now it's time for the Q&A round. The viewers can ask relevant queries which they want to know on Zero Trust access or related with cybersecurity. Ravi will address the queries as we have to conclude this session and we have to jump to our second session, which is DT Cybersecurity Leadership Awards 2021. We will have to take Few queries only, but I request you all to please ask your questions, as Ravi will revert all relevant queries through email as well. Before I can take few queries from chat box, Ravi, I have one queries which I would like to ask you first. The threat landscape has changed a lot with new threat vectors such as cryptojacking and ransomware coming to the top. How and why are the threats changing? What are the implications of this change for a cybersecurity head?
Well, Rajiv, if you ask me, overall threat landscape had changed a lot. And we often talk about ransomware because it is the most visible thing to us, because it encrypts your data and asks for a ransom, right? And we tend to forget the initial stages of an attack kill chain, like how it entered into your network. Now, it may be because of the malicious link over a phishing email, or maybe because of an underprotected RDP service, which we often tend to expose over the internet. Now, once this initial payload is downloaded, it might try to connect to the command and control center. It might download the second payload, and the second payload could be banking Trojan, or stealing the credentials, or maybe before dropping a ransomware payload, which is most visible thing as it encrypts your data. Then to answer how and why threats are changing, they are changing because of the changing organizations network, which we are seeing today through that is creating an opportunity for hackers. And because the IT priorities has been changed, networks are shifting with a massive changes. IT teams are being more overloaded than ever because of this pandemic. Maximum people are working from home, and they are busy enrolling the VPN, adopting a VPN to the network. And moreover, attacks are becoming more and more sophisticated and targeted one, like targeting the organizations through individual, maybe through a supply chain attack, which we have seen in SolarWind attack. So just relying on prevention alone won't be sufficient today, and that's where organization needs to have a strong detection capabilities, a strong detection systems. In case prevention failed at first place, you should be able to detect incident response using the EDR. And that's why EDR, which is the endpoint detection and response systems, are becoming more popular today, because prevention is there, right? But in case prevention fails, you should be able to detect attack as quickly as possible.
Okay, thanks, Ravi. Thanks for answering my part of questions which I thought to ask you. Okay, moving ahead, I can see there are a few questions in the chat box. I'm just picking up one that is earlier hackers mostly targeted the BFSI sector, but now they are increasingly looking at the manufacturing sector. So what could be next on their target list? So you have to tell this. This is I think very
Interesting one, to
yeah,
be honest. If you ask me again,
yeah.
while no industry is immune against the cyber attacks, irrespective of the size and the nature of business they do, but yeah, hackers are always behind the trends, right? The trends which are going right now, they always try to run after industry or sector where they can get maximum returns. While BFSI sector has been the routinely targeted, has been the topmost target for them, but we have even seen that hackers are targeting manufacturing and healthcare sectors, has been up during this pandemic. Manufacturing companies have seen almost an 11% increase in cyber attacks in 2020 compared to 2019. And the healthcare industry is another prime target for ransomware attack, because of the sheer amount of patients data stored in healthcare industry. And healthcare industry is doing good because of this COVID pandemic and all those stuffs. So it's also an industry that is still transitioning from paper to digital records. And the lack of digital presence brings it to the lack of cybersecurity readiness. And apart from these two, hackers are also targeting the higher education sector. Education institutes are the targeted for several reasons, to be honest. Students and employees personal information, which are critical data nowadays. Students bring their own devices which are under protected, non-protected, because there's no antivirus installed onto it. And they are also poor in password protection and susceptible to the social engineering attacks. So I would say no industry is immune to the cyber attacks, but then hackers will always try to go behind the trends.
Okay, so that this is what experience and the trend says you have been watching this kind of incidents, and on the basis of that Prediction is very impossible in cybersecurity, but at least basis on our recent or the previous attacks, we can also have a strategy to counter all these challenges. So
Absolutely.
thanks for answering one of our audience's queries. So because we are running out of time, so I'll just quickly pick one of the queries from our audience. So this is what do you think there are the security gaps and lapses in enterprises? Your comment on this, please.
Mm, it's difficult question to answer, yet easy to be honest. First and foremost, they need to do the basics right, and which I often talk about in webinars and the presentation. Do your basics right, like 3 Ps. The 3 Ps about patch your systems, have a complex password, and have a privileged access. Now, people require only one application access. Give them only one application access rather than giving access to the entire network or the organization's assets. And that's exactly what the zero trust talked about, which we presented during my presentation. But then, yeah, if I really want to talk about the gaps, the gap one which I want to talk about is not implementing the tools and the options, the animations which they have purchased. Now, I have often seen that people have brought best of the breed firewall and the endpoint protection, next generation endpoint protection, but then they often put wrong exception, wrong exclusions, right? So moment something got blocked, they put them under the exception or exclusion, and that could become the entry point for the attacker. So implement your tools and the options properly. If you don't have team to do it, leverage the services like managed threat response at your service. Now, second thing is lack of real-time visibility. Now, we often say, if you cannot see it, you cannot block it, right? When dealing with the security breaches, delaying even a few minutes before taking an action can cost heavily to the organization. And most of the time, IT teams more likely to react slowly to the attack or indicate of an attack because they are suffering from the alert fatigue, which means they are not able to see what exactly going into the network. If they are able to see it, there are lots of logs in their network, and the actual signal gets lost during the noise which has been created using the logging and reporting system. So even when a case is initially opened, it may not be correctly prioritized due to the lack of visibility and the context. That's why the reporting and the visibility plays a very important role while taking care of an incident and response. That is gap number 2, I would say. And that's why you need to leverage EDR, a SIM, SAW solution, or a solution where you will get visibility of all the things happening in your network. The gap 3 is lack of cybersecurity expert in-house. So even in situation where security team is aware that they are under attack and something needs to be done immediately, they might not have the experience to know what to do next, right? Which also makes them slow to respond. So again, it's a huge demand having cybersecurity expert. Even if people have cybersecurity expert, but then they are overloaded with so much of things they are doing in the organization, they might not be able to respond to the alerts which are at utmost priority. If you don't have expertise in house, or they don't have time to look into threat hunting capabilities, do leverage services like MTR, which I talked about in my presentation.
Okay. Okay. So it's not necessarily that while you are buying a solution and you not need to worry, because implementing with the right people and mix of everything what you talked and advised is a very crucial for having a safe security journey for enterprise, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. So it is not about buying a world-class solution, but implementing it in a world-class way as well, right? And you need to have people. People often talk about manpower nowadays, but for cybersecurity, it is not about manpower. It is about brain power. So you
Okay.
need to have a brain power to implement those next generation tools and the ammunitions which you have purchased.
Correct, correct, correct. So this is what we can conclude, because brain power is what thing we all need to understand. The cybersecurity domain is very different from all other IT solutions. So
True.
hopefully, with this queries, actually we are running out of time and we have to start our second session, which is DT Cybersecurity Award. So thanks Ravi for answering this query as well. And now, as we have to jump to our next session, we will try to respond few other queries through mail as well if we found these queries relevant to answer by you.
Sure.
Uh, Before moving further, here is the second quote for Lucky Winner contest sponsored by Sophos. So with this, first session is over, Ravi, and now it's time to move out to our next and much awaited session, which is DT Cybersecurity Leadership Awards 2021. Team, can we have that AV, please? Ravi, we all know about the DT Cybersecurity Award, which we are doing, which we are working to find these names. So we are about to announce the winners for DT Cybersecurity Leadership Awards 2021. We got the nominations and we have the results with us. And but before announcing the names, what you want to say to all nominees who are watching us live now?
Excellent. I'm really excited. And I would like to appreciate DT for taking such initiative to honor such people who are real steward of a cybersecurity domain. DT Cybersecurity Leadership Awards will really acknowledge their efforts and the role they play for all their respective organization, especially in last 1 year when the challenges were huge due to the pandemic. And I often call all the CIO and CISOs as Corona warrior because they have made all those IT people work from home same way they used to work from office a year before. So they all are really worked hard to secure their digital infrastructure by working effortlessly, even in work from home mode or the situation. They all truly deserve such recognition, which will further motivate them to work much better in days to come. I wish all the nominees good luck. And for me, you all are winner.
Okay, that's great. That gets to best way to wish all the nominees that really they all are winners, and it doesn't matter if somebody gets not selected in this winning list, but from our side also they all are winners, and to follow the agenda which we have to announce few names, and before going to this before we announce the name for winners, here is the third and final code for Lucky Winner contest sponsored by Sophos. Okay, so with the growing ever increasing cyber incidents, the role of IT leaders has increased as they are the core strength of any organizations who take initiatives to protect their organizations from any challenge, including cyber threats. Today, we will honor the top performing IT leaders for their exceptional initiatives for cybersecurity. Winners for DT Cybersecurity Leadership Awards 2021. And the first winner is Mr. Yogesh Kumar Bansal, CISO, VP IT, Avas Finance.
I would like to thank the jury for giving this prestigious award. I feel proud to be part of the Avas Financial team. Today, cybersecurity is the need of ours, and everyone should follow the industry best practices when it comes to safety. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.
The next winner is Mr. Vishal Madan, EVP and CTO, Capital Small Finance Bank Limited.
Hi, I'm Vishal Madan, Executive Vice President and CTO for Capital Small Finance Bank. I'm really honored to receive the DT Cybersecurity Leadership 2021 award today. I would like to thank the jury members, the Digital Terminal team, and the sponsors for the event. I would also like to thank my seniors and my colleagues at Capital Bank for their faith and support. I would also like to thank my family and friends. I am what I am today because of my family. Thank you. This award will really keep me motivated for more in the future.
And the next winner is Mr. Satyavat Mishra, AVP, Corporate IT, Godrej Industries. And the next winner is Mr. Ankit Jain, Deputy General Manager, Podar Education Network.
I am extremely gratified for this award. Firstly, I want to appreciate the member of Jewelry for choosing our organization Podar Education Network for this prestigious DT Cybersecurity Leadership Award 2020-21 and showing great respect for us with this prize. Thank you.
And the next winner is Mr. Atul Bansal, Group CIO, Gateway Rail Freight.
Hi, I want to thank the jury members for selecting me for DT Cybersecurity Leadership Award 2021. I want to thank my team for their sincere effort and dedication. Thank you.
The next name is Mr. Satish Kamath, Assistant Director, IT, Manipal Education. And the next winner is Mr. Anil Kulkarni, AGM, Information Technology, Manipal Global.
Thank you very much for selecting me to receive the DT Cybersecurity Leadership Awards 2021. And I'm pleased to receive the same on behalf of my team at Manipal Global Education. This is clearly one of the most significant events of my professional career and a tremendous honor to receive the same. This recognition is another example of the great support that DT has been giving to security professionals throughout the past. A view of the past winners with their excellent track record and contribution in cybersecurity domain reveals the significance of this award. However, there is still much to learn for all of us in this ever-changing security scenario. But with continued support and encouragement from DT's partner institutions, I'm sure we can all accomplish a great deal in securing our businesses. Thanks again to all participants, jurors, and DT. Cheers.
And the next name is Dr. Sanjay Kumar Sharma, Director, Computer Center and Campus Network Facility, University of Hyderabad.
Hi, I am very thankful and obliged to receive the DT Cybersecurity Leadership Award 2021 on behalf of my organization, University of Hyderabad, and my entire IT team. I am very thankful to my organization and my team for supporting me. It feels great to be recognized as one of the winners for this award. Thank you, DT. This will definitely motivate us to do better in the future. Thank you.
And the next name is Mr. Akela Manga Sridhar, Program Manager, Global Enterprise Security, DPO, Yash Technologies.
Hello all, my name is Akela Manga Sridhar. I'm leading the Global Enterprise Security of Yash Technologies. I'm in the role of DPO. Thank you so much for considering me for the DT Cybersecurity Leadership Awards on behalf of Yash Technologies.
And the final name we have for Mr. Bharat Iyengar, Vice President, ICT and Compliance, Value Momentum. On behalf of our publication, I would like to congratulate all winners for this prestigious awards. You will receive trophy and a gift from Sophos shortly at your address you provided while filing the nomination. Before we conclude this final session of DT Conclave 2021, I would like to request Ravi to please share his final message and vote of thanks to our live audiences.
Well, Raju, I'm really overwhelmed for being part of this discussion. I really enjoyed being part of DT Conclave 2021. I hope I have served the purpose and contributed towards the success of this event. I'm always open to any advice, support required from Sophos side. You can please reach out to DT for any type of resource or knowledge required for the cybersecurity. We will try to address that concern as well. I would like to thank DT and the entire team who worked really very hard to bring this virtual event to empower Indian business and help them in digital transformation journey. And most important, thank you all who had joined us live. Thank you very much.
So the DT Conclave 2021 will surely benefit the Indian businesses and enable them to strengthen their security infrastructure. The insights provided at this platform were truly commendable, and it exemplifies your reach and proficiency in the field of cybersecurity. Ravi, thank you so much for joining us today and making this event successful. I would like to thank Sophos for supporting this event and always being part of all such initiatives by DT. I would also like to thank our platform partner Airmeet, and last but not the least, thank you so much for our entire viewers who are watching us across Airmeet, Facebook and YouTube. Hope to see you again digitally in our next event. Till then, please take care of you and your family. Goodbye and take care.